Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best live YouTube stream to talk about the markets. Our first time being live this week, as Monday was a holiday. Welcome back to everybody. Hope we've had a great start to the week, a great weekend, spent some time with your significant other, or just kind of, enjoyed yourself over the weekend. Whatever it might be. Regardless, you're here with us right now, and we're going to have a great show for you all today, providing alpha and, of course, market commentary. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Tucker, Prometheus, and, of course, Chef Jackus as well. We will be your market commentators for the day. But before we can do this, before we can discuss all things markets, such as when will this range on equities end? Where will crypto bottom if it has not already? And ultimately, what is going to happen on a lower time frame, mid time frame, and high time frame for some of your favorite assets? Before we can do that, I'm going to ask if you guys can hit the like button for us. Last week was obviously we kind of called you on the like button for the first time in what felt like a really long time, but it felt good to look at soybeans. I don't know about the rest of the team. I don't know if I'm feeling soybeans today, though. I'm feeling, let's look at a bunch of risk assets, volatility, and everything else in between. So let's run up that like button today, guys. We're going to have a great show for you all today. Speaking formally about the market, though, because that's why you guys are here. I mean, it's literally just like a ping pong game at this point for the S&P, for the NASDAQ. We get to range lows that we've been trading in since effectively September or October. The zero DTEs come in, they crush bull, we float back up. Tech still has this broader divergence versus the S&P, which makes sense, right? Largely because of this rotation into defensives and also because of this bull crush. Is this just going to form a high time frame, higher low before we go higher on tech here? Breaking the highs, I think probably leads to a pretty aggressive breakout on this, given the positioning skew that we're currently seeing. But of course, we have the expiration today, which February expirations in particular do kind of have like this historical boogeyman feel to them, we'll call it, where the market will sell off very, very shortly after February expiration, which of course is today. So do we see the market potentially move lower here into the end of the month of February and obviously March? Or is this the catalyst that we need to unpin volatility the other way and push prices much higher? Of course, crypto just kind of still doing its own thing. Bitcoin is an ETH. I mean, pretty much everything is mostly trading in a very tight range ever since we hit 60K. Is this low volatility because we're in the process of carving out a bottom, or is this low volatility pre-capitulation? That is the question that I'm going to pose to the panel today. Obviously, we'll discuss it. From a correlation standpoint, I found it to be pretty interesting. I know I'm not the first person to point this out, but like Bitcoin and crypto are trading very, very similarly to software at the moment, right? If we look at the software ETF, which is IGV, and just compare it to something like Coinbase, to me, the similarities are really IGV. Sorry, Tuck. If you just like look at Coinbase and then look at the software ETF, the similarities they're there, right? I mean, we're pretty much hanging at support. We haven't necessarily quite broken the low yet, but we are sitting at a level, obviously, that needs to hold, or else we're talking about much more downside potentially. But a lot to talk about today. I don't want to yap for too long in the intro. We've got a lot of risk assets to talk about and see where everything's going. But how are we doing, guys? What are we seeing in the markets? Did we do anything fun for Valentine's Day weekend, or anything else noteworthy that's maybe on your brain?
Valentine's was good, man. Valentine's was good. Got some went to Costco, got some steak and lobster.
Hell yeah.
4 steaks, 2 lobster tails, $80. I mean, can you beat it? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So yeah, it was pretty epic. Just made it at home. It was good stuff. But yeah, besides that, not a whole lot. I mean, I still think we're headed lower, guys. I still think we're headed lower. I still think Coinbase is looking absolutely cooked. Saying Bitcoin, I don't know, dude.
I couldn't believe when I was looking at the software chart, like how similar it looked to Coinbase.
Okay,
Like
wait.
they're
What is the
identical.
software chart?
Okay, IGV, as in like venison or veal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just like the Cheeto in the door meme. You know, it's the same for software, I feel like, as it is for Coinbase.
Mhm.
But structurally, they're the same. And for me, it's like, okay, well, that kind of gives me, maybe it doesn't necessarily give me signal on like what direction crypto is about to move imminently, but what it does tell me is that, all right, crypto is pretty definitively trading like beta to tech.
Yeah, it is, and it's been that way for years. And we would lie to ourselves if we said it wasn't. Does it change in the future? Perhaps, but as of right now, there is still strong correlation to it for sure. I was just discussing in our Discord earlier today that software was one of the most expensive segments of the stock market in the past year, but currently it's the cheapest. Now, that by itself doesn't mean that we should go all in my opinion, because we have to first ask ourselves this question: is software cheap for a reason? And I think it is, because of obviously AI and its efficiency grows. On the other hand, I do believe that the overreaction or the reaction from the market was a bit too much perhaps, and I suppose it will slide a bit lower too here first, but after it, I think software will, and the good software, obviously, will begin its recovery.
Is there Tether FUD? Is that a real thing?
I haven't seen the Tether FUD.
I haven't either.
As chief director of FUD here at BB, I have not seen anything about Tether FUD, I'll be honest. I think that's a good point though, Jack. I've kind of been like going back and forth in my brain about like how to view these pullbacks in crypto, and then of course things like software. I think, like the question we have to ask ourselves are whether or not you want to be a buyer of what's a cyclical discount or what's potentially a secular discount if these things continue to rip down, right? Like cyclical discounts are going to be more like sentiment sensitive in my brain. So for that reason, like you fade sentiment, you have a higher probability of that trade playing out. If that's the case, then when we look back in a few years, you can say like, okay, well, yeah, that made perfect sense. That was a very obvious sentimental fade. Secular discounts are obviously going to be a lot deeper, right? When we talk about kind of like this 10 to 15 year trend of price appreciation, those discounts could be much deeper down on the chart. And it does play a role, like what you said. AI has a lot to do with the fact that software is marking down to such a degree. And I also think there is some pretty severe bloat in the software industry still, in the same way that there is for crypto. So I think kind of like answering that question is likely going to tell you, okay, where does crypto bottom? Where does software bottom? And they're probably, at least in my opinion, right? Like I don't think that these industries are going to zero. At least in my opinion, that's the question that I want to ask as a capital allocator, or answer rather.
Indeed.
CC's fault. We probably
so have you answered to yourself?
Myself, I think we're headed for secular discounts personally, but if we start to like range here, then I'll be in the camp of like, all right, well, sideways carving out value here is not bearish in my eyes. It's just not. But
yeah,
I have a really hard time thinking that crypto, software, and then these leading small caps like Palantir and Hood that are down 40 to 50% from the highs are just going to sell off with the Mag 7 just chopping up here. That's kind of hard for me to wrap my brain around.
I think, I think Wall Street is not pricing Bitcoin correctly as a software, because Bitcoin is technically a hardware. It's energy, right? It's like the value is behind all those miners making it work. That's reality. But I do agree that lots of cryptos are software, and that's not a bad thing. It's just what it is, right? And we have to ask ourselves, is it a good software or bad software? And obviously we have tons of shitcoins that's just nothing too, that, to be fair. But with this most recent sell-off in software, again, I think it's justified to some degree, because lots of the software is going to get replaced by new AI software. But lots of the software companies will adopt the AI, and they will be the sorry. I'm watching the hockey with my second eye as well, but because we are just playing Canada and winning, by the way.
Oh, you're
First,
winning?
we are
Wow.
winning 2-1, and it's the first time Canada is losing in this tournament. But I do not want to get ahead, because it's still the second period and half of it. So technically we are half in the match.
I'm rooting
But
for you.
yeah, but so much to that there is still like Canada is like the number one to win the tournament anyway. So we'll see. But anyways, going back to it, back to the software. So I think lots of great companies will arise from it, and I think this is a great discount to allocate into the segment. But you have to be picky, just like you have to be picky with lots of crypto tokens, right? That's the reality. Like, lots of it is garbage, and you shouldn't be jumping in front of the falling knife, both for stocks just as crypto, because some of these will, they'll keep on selling for a long time, maybe forever. So
Yeah, just don't. If you don't want an asset to sell forever, don't buy a Polygon.
I don't know, man. I feel like ETH looks pretty. I don't know. It's just like, does ETH bottom like this? You know, I don't know. I don't know. It feels more to me like it's right here.
I think ETH needs time,
Yeah.
like more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to establish value here, prove that we're bottomed. I'm asking myself, like, is this low volatility that we're seeing right now a product of a potential bottom forming, or is it a sign of like pre-capitulation?
What is this volume profile, bro? What are these colors?
Mine did the same thing. Their volume profile is messed up. It's not saving.
What is this background too? Turn this background off. That's better. Wait, hang on. We need to make this red. All right.
I think to your point, Tommy, time is the most important thing for the market right now. From a healing perspective, if you start to see high time frame absorption and like a range form out, I know that's kind of what you've been talking about today. It's going to be a really good sign for the market to be bottomed out. I don't want to be, too early, because, being in the thought process of something's down 45%, that means it can't go down another 45%, is a really dangerous headspace to be in. I mean, if you're buying here, I would have invalidations, because as we're seeing today, equities are, they're doing pretty well, right? The Russell's up 1%. NAS is finally starting to show some relative strength versus the ES and Dow. And crypto is not participating, which, as we know, is kind of been often the case before some form of catch-up rallies have happened. It's really hard for me to imagine, though, at this current juncture, what catalysts there are for crypto currently that are really going to allow for me to extrapolate, higher prices in the near term. And what I mean by that is like a large scale V recovery, to where, all the people that bought over the now over 12-month supply range at the highs are now back on sides in their positions.
I would I might put it slightly differently. And I agree, Prometheus, but I would also say if you are not positioned long, you also want to have an invalidation here, which might be a bit higher. I agree. But I truly am sensing or observing how so many market participants are just like sure that we are going to get lower prices. And usually when you get this consensus of like people being sure that something's going to happen, you want to be very watchful is all I'm saying. I
Yeah, I
personally
agree.
also think we will probably sweep this current low that we have on Bitcoin, or like right now I definitely cannot rule it out. But I'm just saying I've seen markets bottom where you don't get the sweep.
Yeah, I agree. I think invalidations on both sides of the trades are very important. You know, could this have been an isolated event, systemic event for crypto? I mean, we'll know in, 12 months from now whether or not it's isolated or not. I think that there are probably better long opportunities other than crypto right now. I just find it, from a rotational perspective, money managers, institutions, like they're really not looking at crypto as like a viable investment right now, which is important because the institutional flows have been the driver for this market. And if they're kind of not there presently, then I want to be kind of careful and cautious. If you start accepting, for me, back above 80K specifically, like I'm a buyer all day long. But until then, like I personally want to remain very patient. And if I don't buy the Pico bottom, I'm fine with that. Because as we know, there's going to be other long trades that will do very, very, very well in crypto, as long as you're kind of keeping your eyes and your ears open.
I think if crypto is going to carve out a range here in like 1 or 2 months, you can probably assume that Hyperliquid's probably still trading at these prices more or less and slow grinding up, and that'll be a very high probability long. Is kind of how I'm viewing it. Trying to guess what altcoins I want to buy here is like, I'm not doing it. I will not do it. Not yet. Not yet, at least.
Definitely not yet.
I think your favorite coin, Jackus, Sui, is still a great like signal for the market as a whole, at least like the broader altcoin market, because it always moves. It always moves before the rest of the market, like to begin a trend. At least like to the upside, and even in this, it had the same thing in early January when it squeezed. Like it moved before most other altcoins did. And sold off before most other altcoins did.
Well, it still looks kind of like trash right now, so.
Yeah. All my homies hate Sui.
I hated it. I keep on hating it, and I don't see a reason why not keep on hating it. And it has basically come home.
They've wrecked it so hard. It's actually so funny.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it needs a pretty long accumulation phase at this point.
No, what it needs is getting delisted from every exchange and just going to zero.
So we'll end up like Adam.
These charts are not coming back. Not unless you're gonna do like a major relaunch, revamp. Yeah, like there will be strong bounces, but I don't think these charts with these FDVs are going to do anything meaningful anytime soon.
And that's for the best.
Yeah. We are still waiting for the massive delist season, CZ, by the way.
Yeah, we are.
But all he keeps waffling about is that there is a massive coordinated FUD against him.
The Matrix is attacking me.
Yeah.
As a multi-billionaire, the Matrix is attacking me.
Brother, you are the Matrix.
Dot. Oh my god. I think some of these charts just bleed out forever, man. And they'll stop getting squeezes to be sold into when they're no longer listed on perps. You know what I think looks very, very bad here now is Sol ETH. Obviously, we've been talking about Sol Bitcoin, but
it's just like where's the bottom, bro? It just looks like Sol, you know, before it nuked.
kind of does.
Yeah. What about
I just
the,
I just think we're going to continue to see Sol mark down if Robinhood is an example.
The Sol charts are not optimistic.
no, they're not.
You know, I'm more surprised at this point that like people are still shitcoining on Sol, man. Like on my For You page, every other day I'll see people talking about a coin. It's like, oh, is Elon gonna crime this coin up? Like that's the game they've been playing for effectively like 4 to 6 months now. Is Elon and Pump gonna crime a specific coin up? And then I look at Dex Screener and it's at like 5 million, and that was what it peaked at. It's like some people get stuck in a cast of one way of making money in this market, and then they never leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Elon is going to be busy with his own stock soon.
Oh, I meant
with his own stock.
Elon. But if you mean Elon, Tesla is. I think Tesla's going to dump. Gun to my head, but you do have obviously that right tail risk of the SpaceX merger. I don't really know anything about that though. Honestly, I think
maybe.
Oh wait,
Sorry,
go for it.
ahead. No, you're good. Keep cooking.
I was just gonna say I think Tesla looks a lot like IGV before the move down. The software ETF before the move down.
What is it?
G-
God,
IGV.
you need to enunciate, Tommy. That's on you. I'm kidding. Wait, okay, you think Tesla's up in here? Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that. Actually. Let's see.
Man, tech got wrecked. Specifically software. I think it's probably going to be one of those discrepancies where hardware will probably continue to do pretty well for the most part. And the AI disruptive factors are going to cause a big repricing in the software side of things. And two, to your point, we're talking about like the people on Sol still shitcoining. I think that is very reflective of the NFT bros of last cycle. And they went into this cycle thinking NFTs were going to pop off. They did well towards the end of 23. But besides that, I mean, it was pretty anemic, you know. And once you Ponzi somebody once, it's really hard to Ponzi them again, you know. So I would be very careful trying to go into next cycle thinking that on-chain will potentially still have the same effects that it did this cycle. I actually think that we're going to see a big wave again in regards to like fundamental theses and like
DeFi.
Yeah, like DeFi exactly, like RWA style stuff. Revenue generators, that kind of thing. I think that whole, the market at least has definitely found a liking to what Hyperliquid's doing, and they've set a precedence and a paradigm that's believable, right? It's not like a 1 week, oh, this is great, and then it sucks. It's been persistent and it's done very well. I mean, they generated more fees than Robinhood did. Yeah, I mean that's impressive. So yeah, I think going into next cycle, looking through a different lens almost is going to be pretty important, or at least going into what the next bull market period and having a different lens is going to be important. I don't think meme coins are going to do what they did. I don't think that NFTs are probably ever going to come back in a meaningful way unless they somehow are able to monetize them, or
About NFTs.
capture monetization. And same with like Sol on chain in general. Like, sure, the casino will always be there, but it'll probably form in new ways than what we currently know of them as of now.
NFTs are tricky for me. I think there is a demand for like digital collectibles. The question is, do they need to be like, is there a demand for digital collectibles to be trading like fine art?
You talking about your puppets, Tommy?
Of course not. Not at this point. But no, I'm just looking at the punks chart right now.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
Just look up CryptoPunks.
That's all I got to type in.
Yeah, CryptoPunks. No spaces.
That?
Yeah. The ETH chart looks pretty bottomed. The USDC chart doesn't really look that bottom though. I don't know. It's like I don't know if there is. I want to say that there is a demand for like digital collectibles, like high-end digital collectibles, but I think you're right, Prometheus, in that people are going to go back to the well on meme coins next cycle in the same way that they went back to the well on DeFi and got burned. I just think the refractory period for a bubble like that it's just going to require more time. And so I think the most obvious like fundamental asset that's going to benefit next cycle is going to be DeFi. It's probably going to be DeFi. And I do think it will be some iterations of like what we have right now. Like I like the high time frame look of the AVE chart and the Maker Sky chart.
Yeah.
I don't really think they're bottom. But I do see like the high time frame accumulations occurring in the same way that you saw with tech, in 2000 to 2008. So I think coming out of that, we're on the verge of coming out of comparisons to 2008. I don't think it's fully played out yet personally, right? But I do think whether it's already played out or whether we finish playing it out throughout this year, the trough is the bottom for like crypto fundamentals at exactly the time where everybody is going to be saying nothing in crypto is investable. I've completely given up on the industry.
Dude, I think Kita looks really good. I know, Jack, as you posted that in our group chat the other day. Kita's been one of those names, like high time frame accumulation. Really, really nice chart.
Always happens to me as well.
Oh, bro, what in the...
I think that's the right chart.
I think it is. Yeah, it actually is.
Wait, what's it actually?
Oh, yeah, it is. TradingView did this. I don't know what the hell happened. It used to
TradingView
not
data
happen.
garbage.
TradingView, yeah. All right, there it is. What market cap is that? Like 50?
Sitting around, I think 100.
100? Really? Yeah, 130. I mean, are they actually gonna do something?
We'll
Is
see.
their blockchain live? Like, are people using it?
Yeah, they're like anchored, their anchor system where they can like cross compatibility with whatever chain they want, whatever bank they want, whatever, financial rail they want. That's live and going. I think they're working on like a debit card or something. I think that's in the works. There's a few other things that I know they've been cooking on. I haven't been keeping up with them a ton, but I know they're still working.
Dorito. I see. Dorito said, look at ITA. Defense sector. Probably pumping today. Are you guys monitoring the situation?
Well, Iran.
Yeah. Are you not monitoring?
I saw the poly market odds are like higher than they've ever been for a strike.
Bitcoin's putting in a meat stick right now.
Dude, Bitcoin's price action this morning is completely schizo.
Yeah.
Completely schizo.
They're really telegraphing the war, aren't they? I can't remember a war being like this well telegraphed.
With the VIX and everything.
No, not the VIX. I mean, just like by the administration. They're like,
oh, yeah.
They're basically telling you ahead of time, we're going to bomb Iran.
Yeah.
That is a done deal.
I think so. I'm just like surprised it hasn't happened at this point.
Yeah, it needs to be strategically timed. You know how it goes with the markets.
Yes.
Sir, can we bump now? No, not yet. We are not positioned.
Let me see if Garrett Bullish has taken any hyperliquid positions. I have his wallet saved. No positions. He hasn't done anything since he got liquidated on the account. What is DVOL and then ETHVOL look like, Tucker?
I don't know what to make of that. After the spike, it's just bleeding. Probably keeps bleeding. What was the other one?
ETH DVOL.
Oh my.
This one's so cocked. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Jeez.
Disgusting what they did to that.
Yeah. Probably continues to do nothing.
Chud Jack mode.
Yeah, Chud mode. Probably.
Take ETH divided by ETH volatility.
What does that tell you?
So essentially, like when Ethereum becomes overextended versus its volatility, it's essentially saying that like structure, there's like fragility in structure. Like typically what you want to see is price going up while ETH paired against its volatility remains relatively flat. That means that the volatility is supportive of price. If volatility remains low and price rises significantly higher, structure remains fragile, or is fragile essentially. And what was fascinating is ETH divided by its volatility from the move that we had from the April lows to the highs was a larger move from ETH, versus the volatility than what we saw last cycle, which is crazy. So from a contextual standpoint, you could potentially extrapolate that the move we saw from ETH last cycle was far more organic than what we saw this cycle.
So what we saw was just somebody blowing up.
We saw either somebody blowing up or the digital asset treasuries coming in, buying up huge swaths without there being, true organic, supply demand relationships, i.e. volatility going up, right? Because you want with price going higher, you want a lot of trading to be done, right? And that typically is representative of volatility going higher, right? And if it's not, price becomes very unstable. That's why we reverted the move as hard as we did.
Makes sense. What's our favorite short volatility vehicle, MicroStrategy, doing today?
Dude, did you see his post this morning?
No, what'd he say?
Dude, he's like desperately trying to save STRC. It's so bad. He's like, they're doing YouTube advertisements now for STRC. And they're also, he's posting a ton, which leads me to believe that probably what blows up MicroStrategy, if anything, are these other investment vehicles that they've built out.
Completely agree.
The craziest thing too was like, I don't even know, like maybe 12 months ago at this point, was when Michael Saylor posted a picture of a literal pyramid, and it was, and each within the pyramid, it was MicroStrategy at the bottom, and then each tier was one of their investment vehicles, like STRK, STRC. Like, what?
Are you studying yet?
This chart looks pretty terrible, man. It's either going to need to accumulate for a long time or come into like 90, 80. I don't know. I mean, is there a point where this actually puts pressure on his Bitcoin holdings? So like if this chart goes to a certain price, not Bitcoin?
It's more, I think, that the rise in Bitcoin volatility is like this self-fulfilling prophecy that destroys MicroStrategy, because the yield that they sell to investors is basically like a covered call. So they're making money on their underlying spot holdings while selling them yield that's basically a covered call. But because their holdings are declining so much and quickly, the covered call, the premiums are not making up for the amount they're losing on the Bitcoin. So like when the volatility really picks up, they're just getting wrecked on both, from my understanding. So like Bitcoin volatility spiking will be what takes MicroStrategy materially lower from here, more so than MicroStrategy going lower is going to take Bitcoin lower. I think that's also why we saw Coinbase just completely get destroyed a few months ago, because they are basically short volatility too, but for different reasons. It's the ETF dark pool. And we don't know about the paper coins, man. We don't know about the paper coins.
Yeah, I think their transition to a big reason why I think Coinbase appreciated as much as it did, in my opinion, especially last year, was partly due to Base. I think that resonated a lot with retail, right? People really enjoyed the fact that Coinbase was, pushing and, their own chain, and it like this had this like social kind of driven aspects behind it, and they're rewarding users and all this. And over the past few weeks, they've came out and they've essentially said like, yeah, we're like scrapping what we've done with Base over the past 24 months. And we're shifting towards just like a solely trading focused platform for Base itself.
Well, the Coinbase chart agrees that people do not like that.
It also doesn't help that Brian Armstrong sold like $700 million of shares.
I can't blame him. I
mean, he grabbed his bag. Yeah, he made his bag.
He did hammer the chart though. Like the higher it went, the more he sold. I was looking at the filing last week, I think it was.
Well, they have to do that, right? If they're presented with that opportunity, because like I think it's Rule 144. They have to, right? The more volume that's done, the better for them. The higher price goes, right? The better for them, and allows them to unwind their position.
Don't hate the player.
Dorito.
Dorito wanted to have ons charted.
That's a war style, I believe.
Yeah, that is it's a defense stock. It's like a Solana coin.
What happens next?
That looks pretty bullish. Unless you're going to underside reject $12, then it would not be bullish. But, I mean, that looks like slow grind up. I mean, I'm sure Micron looks a little bit similar to that in some way.
Yeah, I like the looks of it, and I think that, defensive stocks, or sorry, not defensive, but defense stocks, they make lots of sense still. Like Europe will still be looking to arm itself more going into the future, other countries as well. Yeah, I think that there is definitely an ongoing trend. That trend has obviously already started some time ago for those who were able to foresee it like way ahead. But I don't see that this trend should be stopping anytime soon. All over Europe, it's still being discussed that, like how much of a percentage of GDP, like it's not being discussed whether or not to invest into defense. It's how much are we going to invest. So I generally think that the defense stocks definitely still are within a trend, and I think this trend can keep on going higher. And when it comes to TA, this is a pretty clean retest of like $9. Yeah, I think ONS could see all-time highs. I myself am actually positioned in LMT. We just hit all-time highs as well. And but yeah, to me this has been just a
wait. What is it, Jackets?
LMT, Lockheed Martin.
Lockheed Martin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
good old-fashioned American strength.
I mean, yeah, it should be pumping today.
Wait, can you zoom back out? Damn. Dude, that looks like it's about to melt up.
Mm-hmm.
Or it looks kind of like the Uniswap chart from 2021, actually.
Pick your Pokemon.
Let me make sure I'm not crazy. That like grind You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
it started, it does remind me a lot of Uniswap. This is your brain on autism. You know what? Big stock had some pretty big news yesterday. Is SanDisk.
Yeah, I did.
Dude.
But that looks like an exit liquidity, not gonna lie.
Is this
Yeah.
just when they got added to the NASDAQ? This has been around longer though, right?
I think this is just the old chart, man.
There should be more history though. Shouldn't there?
Getting listed on Nasdaq is like getting listed on Binance. Many such cases.
Spot though, not perps.
Yeah.
ITA is the new QQQ. What a funny chart.
What's the market cap?
That correction in 2020 was so gnarly. My God.
What's the market cap of the CTF?
I don't know.
$5 bill? You're joking. $6 bill basically, but
It's
that's
cheap.
tiny. That's actually insane. Versus the Qs. Wow.
Oh, it's 2-2. Damn.
Yeah, it's 2-2. Unfair, I would say very unfair referee ruling of the geez, how it's called in English? Like
Icing?
5v4 icing?
Oh, offside.
No. Like when you play 5v4.
Oh man, you mean like just a penalty?
Yeah, I suppose penalty.
It's man down, isn't it?
Well, it's more. I think it's just called a power play, right?
Yeah,
Like,
power play.
Hockey.
Yeah.
that's the hockey term for it.
I'm thinking in lacrosse terms.
You are thinking in lacrosse terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had like two very unfair power plays while basically we were not given one. So and obviously Canada in power plays is like supreme. So they scored 2-2.
Yeah. Canada power play is just like might as well put the puck in your own net.
Just be done with it, yeah.
Wait, is the Czech team playing in the Olympics?
Yeah, Czech team playing against Canada. It's quarterfinal.
Oh.
Wait, is the US still in it or no?
Yeah, I don't think we can beat Canada though.
You don't think we can beat Canada?
You guys are probably the second favorite to win the Olympic Games, but obviously one thing is on paper, the other is reality.
True.
I am a little tempted to short the Dow here.
Are you?
I am.
Why not just short
We're-
tech? Tech's
We're
just going to lead to the
underside
downside.
retesting 50,000. What was that, Prometheus?
Why not just short tech?
Because I already am short tech.
Why not short more of it?
I did peel a little bit off today on like laggards. So I don't know. I could in theory just add to tech if I wanted to. Coinbase did exactly what I thought it would do on a lower time frame, which was run the low. It's now run the high. I think it's going to start to sell off again now, personally. But yeah, I don't know. Let me see. We should probably talk about BNB, man,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
because I said this multiple times over the last like 2 weeks. For the record, I do not think that BNB is insolvent. I'm not going to bet on that. But I
think
also
Binance?
don't. No, I do not think they're insolvent, right? Like, I'm not saying that everything is good under the hood, but I'm not going to say they're insolvent either. What I will say is I don't think the Binance FUD saga has necessarily reached a climax yet either. I refuse to believe that we're going to stay in the dark about October 10th and obviously all of the fallout from that forever. I think it's coming.
I hope so. But I also have a worry that they'll come up with some like, like something that will not be necessarily good, but not something that will be terrible, and it will not be the complete truth. So they'll just come up with like whether it's a partial truth or something misleading, and that will be it. Yeah.
The question in my brain is like, is Binance the predator right now or the prey?
It's a good question.
Because we know how they operate. Is the fact that they've been selling so many coins to, I mean, look, I'm sure it has a little bit to do with them, right? But is it kind of more so a result of Binance self-preservation while other players try to hunt them, or is it just Binance potentially hunting some other players who they know are insolvent after October 10th, right? Like, there's just so much. I almost hate to speculate on it because we have literally no information, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at the BNB chart and I'm telling myself, like, there's just no way that we've reached the end of this saga right now.
It seems there is definitely more looming on BNB. Like I don't think that bottom is in on BNB just yet, but I also do not think it goes that much lower. Like I don't think BNB heads to zero here.
Let's see.
Anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna leave for the third quarter because I cannot focus fully anyway.
I love it.
Yeah, apologies. But see you tomorrow.
See you, Chef.
See you, Chef.
Later, brother.
A man who loves his country.
Yeah, you got to love that. He really does. Yeah, my thoughts on Binance are like, all right, Bitcoin is well taken out its April lows, right? And if I just look at BNB from a structural perspective, those do not look like they're going to be the lows from April and also April of 25 and then also the summer of 24 just do not look like they're going to be left behind, in my opinion. Maybe more so the wick down on the Japan carry trade. But at least the tariff lows, to me, I'm like, I would be shocked if they don't take this thing lower. but Binance is probably doing everything in their power to crime as much money to dump into BNB as they can.
You know what I'll say about Binance, and it's actually a compliment, is, you know, when it comes to crypto, like the people who generally create these market cycles, I mean, look at someone like SBF in the last one. On the way down, you're going to be hated. On the way up, you're going to be loved. And that's just kind of the natural reflexivity that crypto has and why we love to trade it, right? Because it goes up, it goes down, it's inefficient. On the way down, obviously that's where FTX completely lost control of the market. And they were not only insolvent, they were very insolvent. Binance has kept prices elevated for a very, very long time. And I think that it's kind of like the opposite of what FTX was able to do. So to that degree, but I'm impressed that Binance has been able to keep the market simultaneously this elevated for as long as it has on majors, while simultaneously probably cashing out on all these shit coins that they've received. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's impressive to me. Binance has been really controlling the market even since boomers came in.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like a bottom
Mm-mm.
on BNB to me quite yet. I mean, maybe you do some of this, but I don't like the way that looks at all.
You know what I am kind of noticing though?
Mm.
An inverse correlation between FDUSD and USDE. I'm finding that pretty interesting. I don't know what it means, but
Dude, imagine if we do exactly what we did last cycle, where we have like a few more weeks, super low volatility sideways chop regime, one leg down, one more leg down, and then you're like at the bottom. Like, what if it's just like identical? I mean, people would be coping. I think
I
people
think
would have
it'll
a
play out
really hard
like
time.
that. Like we have one more leg down. It's just a question of, okay, what sort of leg do you think it's going to be?
Mm.
Yeah. I think it's going to look most like this. Honestly. Or the same on Bitcoin. Like, and that's kind of what I think it'll look like.
Because a lot of like, I mean, when we were up at 90K, people were like, we can't be forming a shoulder exactly like last cycle. There's no way, right? It's too similar. It's too easy. And it played out identical to the shoulder that we formed last cycle. You know, and like a lot of people are like, oh, everybody's bearish. We can't have any more, you know, one last drop, all this stuff, right? I'm like, things just look weak, man. Things just look weak.
I still don't like the 2022 comparisons because equities are not 30% off the highs right now.
No.
The structure for crypto is very similar up to this point, right? Like I will definitely say that. But equities are at the highs. I think the theoretical floor for Bitcoin is potentially much lower than last cycle, structurally. But I want to say, right, like Bitcoin pulled back. How much was it from the 2021 highs? 2020, yeah, it was like 75 to 80%. We're at like 50 right now.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more than that. 53. Yeah. Like I liken the lead lag between crypto and equities right now more so to 2020 than to 2022, because equities didn't sell off until crypto was basically on the verge of capitulation. Do you guys follow Arthur Hayes?
I see
Sometimes.
he's selling.
He basically called for a repeat of the GFC yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah.
On what? On the S&P?
AI
or
is
what?
there's going to be a pullback in the market that's like AI induced fear, and it'll lead to banks having issues, and then the move index will move, and then they'll print money, which is kind of like what I expect too. But
I think it looks more like this. Look at this, boys. Wait for this.
oh
Wait
man,
for this. Okay. You see that? Okay. Okay.
I think that's where that I think that's where that audio clip came from. That's so funny.
I mean, are you,
You know what I'm talking about?
serious? Look at
89
this, dude.
trade.
You telling me that doesn't look identical?
There are some
I mean,
there are a lot of
exhaustive.
This isn't even the GFC. This is like 2015.
yeah. That's nasty.
Yes, Dorito. On the same page, bro. Good stuff. Yeah, I could totally see that. Let me see if I can do a little. Hold on, I need more. God, I hate how it does that. A little fractaling. Never hurt nobody.
You're right about that. As a fractal chud.
As a fractal chud. I mean, it's just basically this. It's not perfect, but you know. That would be a super clean bottom too. Oh, that would be so clean, dude. That would be so clean. It would be like, where did it? It's like this little throwback. What does that take you into? Yeah, that would basically be all year. Nuke into March, pump into May, nuke into July, and then just grind up.
God, that would be so awful to trade.
Oh my God. No.
Unless you're just trading small caps.
I mean, yeah, you would have sector rotations. Like the S&P would do this, and you'd have just probably pretty savage, like small cap to defense to whatever rotations.
What do you guys think about the fact that cash allocation, or rather allocation to equities, is at the same level as the tech bubble high? It's actually higher, the percentage of household wealth in stocks right now, than the tech bubble. It's like 57% of household wealth versus like 40% at the peak of the tech bubble.
That's insane, actually.
Isn't it?
Yeah. That should be scary.
And it's like that's coming at the same time that we have not seen the dollar move materially lower yet.
Remember good old DR Horton?
Oh, dude, do I remember DHI?
Where was it? Where were we?
One of the first puts I ever bought in equities. So good. Truly feel. What do you think about speaking of throwback tickers, man? What do you think about HYG here?
Yeah, I forgot about that. When it's going up, it's good for equities. We already established that.
Good. See if there's any alpha for where we're currently trading. Not really. Kind of actually.
I mean, if it rolls over, it's not going to be good. I'll tell you that.
Let's draw a volume profile since COVID. Now it's more interesting.
Where are you drawing them?
COVID.
COVID? Is this COVID? No, this was COVID.
Now it's more interesting.
Yeah. There's a volume profile. Pretty clean, man. Pretty clean.
They did manage to unpin move in the last week.
God, they just smashed this thing.
Yeah, they did. Well, they've just kept treasuries pinned for, dude, has it been like a year? Yeah, it's literally been over a year that we've just been pinned on treasuries. Are you bullish TLT? I'm seeing a lot more calls for bond bullishness on the timeline recently.
Really?
Wouldn't say that I'm necessarily sold on it yet, but I think fundamentally the bid makes sense. Flu vaccines are coming. I don't think that we're going to get another like disease pandemic driven market event, man. I think that is going to be an overpriced trade for the foreseeable future. In the same way that like after the great financial crisis, volatility remained very overpriced for puts for a long time because people wanted to protect against it. Like, I mean, basically recency bias. Lockdowns, though, are another story. That I do think is coming.
I think lockdowns are coming.
Yeah, like martial law at some point is coming.
I agree.
Yeah, how'd your Costco excursion go last week?
Went great, man. My bill was literally like 50% lower than it usually was. I didn't take the wife with me.
Nice.
Study that. Love my wife, but I was able to save myself some money. You already know who's been bullish TLT. Has he really been? I think I know who you're talking about. I'm not sold on TLT yet, man. Not until it breaks that high at 92.
Mm-hmm.
It still looks a little bit like bouncing ball at support to me. Like a little bit tempted to fade it, but unfortunately, there's just no juice to TLT options, so it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, there's just no demand in that chart.
I think with bonds, it's like economy people want it both. Economy people. It's just like some people want it both ways. They want yields to come down into a hot economy, and that's just like not possible. It's either bonds are bidding because the economy is declining, or bonds are going lower because the economy is actually really good and we're running it hot. I don't really see a world where like both things can happen at the same time.
Look at the 10-year.
Like if yields are going lower, to me, it's a sign that the bond market doesn't actually believe that the economy is reaccelerating.
No, if yields nuke, it's super bearish. Honestly. People start shoving bonds. Can't be good. Can't be.
Yeah, but Tucker, the Dow Jones is at 50,000.
Is it?
No, it's actually a thing below it.
The Dow is at 50,000. How many? What am I on the monthly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green months. Wow.
Sometimes it's just easier to be a boomer.
Sometimes.
Always. Always.
Oh, boomers.
Boomers, boomers, boomers.
Yeah.
You guys want to wrap it up there?
Yeah, I'm happy Dorito shared that ITA chart, man. I'll tell you guys why after the show, but it's a good spot for us to wrap up the stream. For one, I'm going to have to become an aerospace and defense maxi. That is one of the reasons. But regardless, we hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We know the boomers enjoyed the stream, right? All of their assets are pumping. Tech is kind of waffling on the fence, right? We are getting a bull crush today. The market is lifting. We will see what we get here into the end of the week. Obviously, we will be back for Market Check tomorrow for another episode. If you're new here, maybe you're not. Probably a lot of you are not new, but we run Market Check throughout the week when the New York Stock Exchange is open. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we'll see you again tomorrow and obviously Friday to wrap up your week. But also make sure to tune in for Market Talk hosted by the legendary King Wabi. That is an X Spaces by Wabi's account as well as the Because Bitcoin account on X. So make sure to stay following and subscribe to both so you can be notified when we start those spaces. But guys, our uniform start time for Market Talk is roughly 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll see you guys there later this afternoon and obviously throughout the week. But thank you all again for tuning in. See you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe as always, guys.